Hello, and thank you so much for joining me to practice today. My name is Shannon, and today we'll be using 2 blocks and staying relatively close to our mats so we can wake ourselves up in a gentle and energizing way. So we'll start sitting on our knees with our blocks at our sides, shutting our eyes to take a few grounding breaths here, finding our presence on the mat. Let's take one deep grounding breath. Inhale through your nose and sigh it out. Now we'll hold our blocks as we inhale, lifting our bottom and our blocks up, touching them together, and slowly exhaling, bringing our bottom and the blocks down. We'll do this a few times, following our breath. You can shut your eyes. Opening up our shoulders, warming up our hips. Let's do 2 more. Maybe pulling in your belly. Now let's rise up again, placing the blocks together and do some side bends. So as we bend to one side, our hip goes to the other. Gently pressing the blocks together. Should have no pain anywhere. These can be small movements. And then we'll keep the blocks together as we lower our bottom down. We're going to round our back, bringing the blocks forward, tucking our chin. And inhale, lifting our arms, looking up. Let's do this 5 times. Waking up our arm muscles, pulling in our belly as we round. We'll do 1 more. Let's place the blocks in front of us, placing our hands on our shoulders, and do some shoulder rolls up and back. Inhaling up, exhaling as you bring them back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Two more. Now let's grab our blocks and come into tabletop. You can have your blocks in whatever level you'd like. Hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Let's inhale, arching our back, looking up. Exhale, tucking our chin and rounding. We'll do 5 of these cat-cows. Noticing how your spine feels today, how your hips feel. Breath. Now let's return to neutral, maybe dropping your blocks to the lower level if they were higher. We're going to engage our bellies, lifting our right leg up, keeping our knee bent, doing a nice big circle, tapping our knee on the outside of our left leg, and then we'll inhale it back up, tapping it on our right elbow. Let's do 3 of these, nice and slow. If your elbow and your knee don't touch, that's perfectly fine. Now this last time your knee comes forward, let's pause, tucking our chin, pulling in our belly and breathing. And then we'll drop our foot to the outside of the block. Let's bring the blocks on the highest level. Maybe walk your back knee back a little bit. Letting your pelvis sink, looking up, feeling a stretch in your left hip flexor, and breathing. Now we'll take our right hand on our right knee, gently letting it fall out, looking back as the inside of your foot comes up, bending your left elbow, getting a nice side body stretch and twist. And release. Let's move the blocks to the lower level, and you can keep your hands on the blocks or you can come down on your forearms. Maybe you want to let your right knee fall out. We'll take 3 breaths here. And then slowly release, coming up. Let's heel toe our foot to the left so we can drop our right knee down, coming into pigeon pose. Your right knee can be bent as much as you'd like. Hands are on the blocks as we move right and left. Now we'll pause and center, pressing the base of our right hand on the block, just feeling how that pushes our left hip down a little bit. And breathe. And then we'll bring our left hand to the right block, gently twisting, looking back, keeping a bend in our elbows. And then slowly release, bringing your hands to the other block, gently turning to the left. It could be a very small movement here. Should never have any pain. And release. Let's place our hands on the blocks, inhaling, looking up. And as you exhale, we'll come down, placing one block to the side and placing your forehead on the other block. Completely relaxing down for 5 breaths, relaxing your legs, relaxing your face, enjoying the stretch on your right hip. And release. Let's come back up, grabbing both of our blocks so we can come back into tabletop. Hands under your shoulders. Let's take that left leg now, bringing it up and around to tap it on the outside of our right leg, and then up and around towards our left elbow. 3 times, nice and slow. And on this last time it comes forward, pause, dropping your head, pulling your belly in and breathing. And then we'll drop it to the outside of the block. Again, bringing the blocks on the higher level. Maybe sinking your hips down a little bit as you look up. Maybe you want to take your left hand to your left knee, gently letting it come out as the inside of your foot comes up, looking back and breathing. Now we'll slowly return to center, heel toeing our left leg to the right so we can drop our knee down into pigeon on this side. Keep in mind this side may feel different. Let's drop our blocks to the lower level and find a little movement here. Always bend your knees as much as you need in this pose. Now we'll pause and center, pressing the base of our left hand into the block, feeling how our right hip comes down. It's a nice little stretch here. And release. Let's take our right hand to the left block, pressing gently into the block as we twist, looking back. Inhale to center, hands on the block to the right as we turn to the right, relaxing your legs. And then back to center. Let's inhale, looking up. And exhale, one block is to the side, so the other one can be for your forehead as you round down, completely relaxing here. Now we'll slowly push up, bringing our blocks back, slowly bringing that leg back. Let's move our hips a little right and left. Now we'll have our blocks in front of our shoulders so we can tuck our toes and come into downward facing dog. Feel free to bend one knee at a time, looking right and left, getting a little movement for your hips and your back and your neck. And then when you're ready, have that bend in your knees so you can press in the base of your fingers, curling your bottom up, reaching your chest towards your thighs, and then slowly reaching your heels towards the mat. Let's take 3 breaths here. As you exhale, pulling your belly towards your spine. Now we'll reach the right leg up. You can keep it straight behind you, or you can turn, stacking your hips, keeping your right leg either straight or bent. Sometimes I like to keep it straight as I'm looking under my right arm. And then with control, we're going to bring that leg in between the blocks. Keeping our back knee up, let's have our feet shoulder length apart and find a little bit of forwards and backwards movement. Then we'll place the blocks on the higher level so we can look up and breathe. And let's tap our left knee up and down on the mat. Does not have to touch the mat, but basically bend your back knee up and down a few times. And then drop it all the way down. Top of the foot is on the mat. Let's keep our left hand on the block as we raise our right arm up, side bending to the left, pulling that right shoulder back. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale the left arm up, side bending to the right. And release. Let's bring the box back just a little bit so we can bring our bottom forwards and backwards a few times. The next time your bottom comes back, walk the blocks back just a little bit, and with a bend in your elbows, you can round down towards your right leg, maybe pulling your right hip crease back and breathing. Gently release. Let's bring that leg back. Place the blocks back on the lower level so we can go back into downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Now we will lift our left leg up. You can keep it straight behind you, or you can stack your hips, keeping your legs straight, or you can bend your left knee, pressing through the base of your fingers as you reach your leg up and away, looking left. And then with control, we're going to bring that foot in between the blocks, keeping our back knee up. In this runner's lunge, you can have your feet about shoulder lengths apart. Let's bring the blocks to the higher level as we move forwards and backwards. Crack in my ankle. And then we'll pause with our knee over our ankle, engaging our left leg muscles as we tap our right knee up and down. Now let's drop it down. Top of the foot is on the mat, keeping our left hand on the block, reaching our right arm up and to the left. Exhale down, switch sides. Exhale down. Let's bring the blocks a little bit further back towards us as we move our bottom forward and backwards. Next time you come back, walk the box back just a little, and with a bend in your elbows, let's round down, breathing into the back of our left leg. And slowly release. We're going to place the blocks to the side, placing our hands on the mat under our shoulders so we can slowly lower all the way down on our bellies. Keeping our elbows bent, we're going to raise our right arm and our left leg and down and switch. Inhale, left arm and right leg and down. Keep going a few times this way. Inhaling as they lift, exhaling as they come down. Now the next time you lift your right arm and your left leg, pause and breathe. And switch sides. Now we're going to lift both of our arms and legs at the same time, pulling our elbows towards our waist, squeezing our shoulder blades, engaging our leg muscles. And maybe you want to sweep your arms back, grabbing your fingers, interlacing them as you squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then we'll slowly push back into a child's pose. Your knees can be together or apart. Relaxing your forehead on the mat. Relaxing your entire body. And maybe move your hips a little right and left. Now we'll slowly push up, coming back on our heels. We're going to bring our hands behind us, facing our feet into this sort of camel variation where we're lifting our bottom. You can keep your chin tucked or you can look back. Have a micro bend in your elbows, feeling the stretch in your shoulders and your quads. And slowly release. Let's turn to face the long side of the mat with our legs crossed and our hands on our knees. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here, slowing our heart rate. Place our hands at heart center, bowing our heads, giving ourselves gratitude for showing up today to practice. I'm grateful for you for showing up to practice with me. The light in me honors the light in you, and together here now and always, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this practice, please give it a like. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed and came back to practice with me again. Have a beautiful day.